Hi, how are you? I'm OMFG Really Nikki, and this video is 5 things you should do before you start a business. A lot of people want to just start a business and hope that it takes off, but the truth is, if a lot of times, like, you see people being successful online, and it's not always like that. Like, a lot of things, people don't show their failures online. So the thing is, if you truly want to start a business and you want to be successful, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to be successful if you're trying to start a business, because nobody wants to waste their time or their money, then these are 5 things that you absolutely need to do before doing anything else. And the very first one is, like, before you pick a name, before you decide on anything, you need to have a plan. You need to take notes, you need to write things down, you need to, like if you have ideas, like, just have bullet points, like, of things that you're into, things that you like, and kind of fine tune it as you go, like, because that's going to change and evolve. And I'm so sorry about this glare. I know it's annoying. I've tried everything. Like, I've closed windows and done everything that I can, and I can't make it go away. I have the blue coating on these glasses, and I think that's why it's doing that. It is what it is. If I waited, I'd never make this video. So the very first thing, like I said, have an idea, have a plan, and write it down. If you, like, I feel like the act of writing something down helps kind of, like, cement it in your mind, where you're like, okay, this is real, this is happening, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm working on, and this is, like, where I want to focus things. So just having an idea, of whatever it is that you want to do, start with that. And you can write down ideas for names and so on, but, like, before you do any of that, you just need to have, like, a general idea of what it is you're trying to do. The next thing is to research everything. If you're trying to do skincare, you're trying to do, like, bath bombs, you're trying to do makeup, whatever, research every aspect of whatever it is that you're trying to do. Look at other brands that you like. Don't copy them or, like, anything like that, but look at the things that they're doing. Look at, like, what products people are using, what products are, like, popular. All of those things are very important, because you want to make sure that you're putting something out that people are actually going to buy. Because just because you create a brand and put out a product, there's no guarantee that people are going to buy it. And the thing is, I think a lot of people also rely on family and friends. Truthfully, family and friends are not really going to be your best customers. Your best customers are going to be strangers. So you have to focus on what it is that they are into, what it is that people, like, are buying, what's trending, whatever. Like, you don't want to do something necessarily gimmicky. You want something that's, like, traditional, that's, like, mainstream, that's going to be, I don't know, like, if you want something that you're going to produce that people are going to want, and there's a consistent need for it. And researching, like, it's not just about researching ingredients or labs or whatever it is you decide to do, but also just researching the market, because you don't want to focus on, like, oh, I want to do this type of skincare, but, like, nobody gives a crap about it, because if nobody cares, nobody's going to buy it. So what if you waste thousands of dollars on something that, like, 5 people buy? That sucks. You don't want to do that. And there's no amount of, like, ads or, like, promotion that you can really do that's going to force people into buying it. If people aren't into it, they just aren't going to buy it the way that you want them to. You might be able to get more people to make the purchase, but you still won't be selling out, and the goal is to sell out. The third thing is focus on a small amount of products. Don't plan on releasing, like, 20 things. I would say a good amount is, like, between 1 and 5. Like, you can literally release 1 palette or 1 skincare item and add to it. Because the thing is, I feel like when you release too many things, especially when you're starting, is people don't really know you. People haven't really, like, don't have any kind of, like, relationship established with you. So they're not going to go and spend all of this money buying a bunch of things. But if you have, like, a handful of items that are really well, like, curated and really fit what you're trying to do, because you want to have an image for your brand. You want to have, like, an aesthetic. Like, that's kind of, like, the number one thing, like I was talking about. You really want to focus on your idea and your plan, and that's, like, what things are going to look like too. So you want to make sure that you're creating a product that fits that aesthetic, that you're not just slapping your label on something and hoping that people buy it. You really want to have thought it out and create something that doesn't bombard people, that's not overwhelming. Because, like, a lot of products, like, a lot of releases, because I see brands release, like, a small amount of things, and the bigger brands do that, and I feel like that's because they already know that people know that their product is good and they're going to purchase it. So I feel like if you kind of use that same concept on a smaller scale, even when you're new, having 1 product or 5 products, like, anywhere in between there. I feel like, truthfully, if you really want to have a few things, I would say 3 to 5 should be, like, your focus. Because the other thing is, you want to make sure that you're doing those products and they're good. You don't want to be producing something that is just subpar, because anybody could get like basic stuff anywhere. So that you want to give them a reason to shop with you. So do 3 to 5 products and do them very well. That's really important too, because you also want to put out an image where like, look, we don't need to bombard the market. We don't need to do too many things. We have these amazing products, and really focus on those. The fourth thing is, honestly, it goes back into researching a little bit, but you need to research how much it's going to cost you for the things that you want to do, and save up money. Don't get a loan. That's a horrible idea, because the thing is, like, then you're just going to be paying it back and you're costing yourself more money. It's not worth it. If it's something that's important to you and you really want to do it, save the money. Make it a point to save the money. And like, I have other videos that are like financial videos that talk about like how to save money when you're broke. And truthfully, it's just making it a habit. It might take a long time. It might mean using your tax return. This thing is like weird. But save money. Save whatever it is that you need. Truthfully, you probably need between $5,000 and $10,000. I mean, if you're going the really super indie route, you could probably do it with like $500 to $1,000. It just depends on what you're trying to do. But figure out what it is that you need to spend and how much it's going to cost you to come out with the product that you want. There's a huge range of what it could cost. It might only cost a few $100s. It might cost a few $1,000s. It just is going to depend. I know for me, like my startup cost is probably, I would say probably like 12 grand, just to get started. And I've spent way more than that since then. But you don't have to start with that much money, and you don't have to do that. But getting a loan is not a good idea. It's just not very cost effective. And I wouldn't borrow it from anyone, just because I feel like if something happens and you can't pay it back, it creates a problem. I definitely wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't recommend it, just because I've seen that go bad very quickly. But the other thing is, I know I've talked to several other people about they want to start a brand, and they're like, oh, well, what if I just do Kickstarter? Truthfully, that's a horrible way to start off your business for 2 reasons. One, I don't think anyone should be pressured into like helping you start your dream, and I'm not saying that in like a shitty way, but I feel like people shouldn't be helping you start your dream. Now, if you're an established brand, or you've already come out with a few things, but you have a bigger idea and you're kind of trying to grow, you could say, hey, I want to come out with this product. Let me tell you about it. Let me show you some examples, and people can invest in it then. But like, if you're not even you haven't even got started, you don't really have the clout to even make that happen. Your Kickstarter is not going to go anywhere. Like, nobody's going to, unless you like know celebrities and like huge names and are willing to pay thousands of dollars for people to promote. And a lot of those promotion services don't even work. Like, I know several people that tried that, and they spent, I think they said it was like $1,500, and their campaign raised like 200 out of the like 8 grand they needed to raise. Like, and that sucks. And that's not, I hear about that a lot actually. And so I don't really recommend going that route. If you're an influencer and then you're trying to start a business, it's completely different. Like, you could totally do a Kickstarter, but you have to have a huge following. Like, even 25K is not enough people. You probably need like 250K minimum to hopefully meet your goal. Like, that's another thing is, like, for Kickstarters, if you were trying to do that, you need to research. Don't hire a firm. Don't do anything like that. And truthfully, I feel like you put more into it when you're using your own money. You're going to create better products, and you're going to have a better outcome because you're not relying on other people. Because the thing is, I feel like, for what I've seen several brands do this, and then they just give up. They're like, well, I didn't raise the money, so people don't give a crap. It's not that people don't care, but it's like, I'm trying to work on my dream. I don't want to invest in your dream hoping that you create a company. Like, I don't know you like that, and especially if I just saw you online, like, I'm not going to feel obligated or anything that I should do that, like, oh, you know, good luck, and then I just click off, you know. And I'm not saying that to be bitchy, but it's like, that's the reality of the people that you're going to be targeting, because no one is going to be invested in your brand. No one's going to be excited about it anyways, because no matter what you're promising, unless it's something kick-ass amazing, you've got lab studies, you've got all of these things, which if you had money for that, you probably would have money to start the brand. So like, it just kind of, to me, sends a message, okay, these people don't really know what they're doing, so I definitely don't want to spend my money there. And that's kind of what the vibe sends to other people, because when I talk to other people about this type of thing, that's always what they say. Is they're like, I'm not going to spend money on a product to be made that I'm hoping to receive, because sometimes they don't even come through and then people get screwed. But also, like, you don't know what it really is, and like, I don't know, you don't know what you're getting, and you don't want to invest in something that you're just like, maybe it'll be good. Um, Now, like I said, if you were an established brand and you had like a bunch of amazing products and you're just kind of like trying to do something really cool and innovative, and like you have the client base and the numbers on your Instagram and your social medias and stuff that you really could get people to go ahead and pre-order or whatever, then definitely. But like, if you're starting from zero, it's just not gonna happen. And like, the reason why I'm so like going off on this is because I see so many people say that that's the route that they want to go, and I don't want to see people fail. I truly do not. And I think the thing is, the vibe that I get from a lot of people is people want things to happen now. We live in a society where most things we can just be like, you know what, I've got Amazon Prime, I'll have it in a couple days. I want to do this, boom, I'm gonna do it. Like, everything doesn't happen that fast. And for business, like, I've had my business for over 3 years. I've actually had my business for like 5 years, but it was called something else, so I don't count those years. Even though like I was selling product and I was successful, I needed to switch for personal reasons. So that's why I don't really like talk about that, just because there's nothing wrong with the product. It was just the person that I was in business with at the time. It just wasn't a good thing. So I've been in business for that long, and I've never once got a check. I've never once paid myself. So that's something to keep in mind too, is that you need to invest in yourself. That's a really important step. And I'm so sorry for like harping on that, but it's like, I'm a big advocate for small business. I absolutely adore small businesses, indie brands, whatever it is. Like, when I see someone that owns a business and they're working hard, like, I definitely want to spend my money there. I want to invest in that in one way that I can. But I'm not going to invest in a startup. That's a no-go for like a lot of people. It's very hard to get a startup loan even. And if you get a personal loan, then it's stuck in your name, not your business's. So that sucks too. So I definitely recommend save up the money that you want to put into it. And the thing is, if you can't maybe save up the amount that you really want to get started, maybe have the list of things that you want to do and then trim it a little bit and be like, okay, I want to do, instead of doing these 5 things, I'm going to do these 3 things, and this is how much money I need, and I can add those once I get started. Because you don't want to go into debt either. Like, because then I could go into that forever. So I'm just not going to even go into that. So just save up the money, and like, you will be so much more successful, and you'll be so much more happy, just because it just feels good to be able to be like, I paid for that, I did that, like, nobody helped me, nobody did anything for me, I did that myself. And that's just a good feeling all around. And then the last thing I'm going to say is, which actually it's like kind of a longer thing too, is focus on your name. Don't just pick something really long, because I see a lot of people with like ridiculously long names or really crazy names. Don't go too crazy. Don't, like, you want to make it kind of like clean, simple. When I say clean, I don't mean like I wouldn't recommend having a swear word in it, although people think my brand has the F word in it, and it doesn't. OMFG doesn't even stand for, and none of the words are like what people think it is. So I guess O is technically oh my funny girls. Okay, so oh my, look, I'm a little slow sometimes, I'm sorry. Oh my funny girls. Okay, so it's not the F word though. But people get kind of offended by it. So it's like, you want to take into account, which I knew that. And so I purposely was like, okay, it's a little bit provocative. And even though it doesn't stand for what people typically think OMFG stands for, it gets people's attention. Now, I've had a few people in my inbox like, oh my God, you're disgusting, you're so disrespectful. And then I correct them and they're like, oh, my bad, sorry. Like, but the thing is, like, it gets attention, is my point. So picking your name is super important. And before you register it anywhere, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, go on Facebook, and see if that name is already taken. Because for me, if my name was already taken, I would have picked something else. I wouldn't have picked the same name. But I knew on every platform, nobody had that. I think on Twitter, I have a different, it's something else. But everywhere else, it's OMFG Cosmetics all together. I think there's an underscore on the Twitter one. I don't know. I don't use Twitter a lot, so I don't really care. I should, but I only have so much time. But check, like, if the domain is registered, because you want to go to, like, GoDaddy. You can just type in whatever name you want, and it'll tell you if it's available or not. And, like I said, TikTok, all of those things, you want to see if the names are taken, because if there's a ton of people with that name, or like the name that you want, you might want to tweak the way you spell it. You might, I don't know, like, because your name is going to be really important, because are people going to want to wear that on a shirt? Are people going to like have that as like a bumper sticker? And maybe you're not going to make those things, but like you kind of have to think of it in those terms, because if somebody wouldn't wear it, or somebody would be like, oh, that sounds weird, or that's, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to, you can't just think of yourself, you have to think of how it's going to hit other people. And that's kind of why I chose OMFG, because I knew some people would get offended. Like, my mom hates it. My mom absolutely hates it. But she knows it doesn't stand for that, but she's like, she still hates it. But I knew it would get people's attention, and I knew people would be like, oh, what's that? And like, people that love me be like, heck yeah, OMFG makeup, like, I love that, you know? So you want to have something that's like gonna get attention, but it's not gonna get you too much bad attention. That's the best thing I could tell you about that. And I know I'm so terrible at making these videos, but the truth is, what I'm telling you is real. It's not just nonsense, and it's not just me sitting here saying a bunch of crap hoping that it sticks. These are all things that I know for a fact are things that you need to do. I'm going to be making some more videos, so if there's anything that you're curious about or you want to know, definitely let me know. Leave a comment if you like this video. Definitely share it. Subscribe. All of those things help me to know what I should do, and what people are liking and what people are not liking. And I will be posting another video, I'm hoping probably Friday, because I'm probably gonna, I don't know if I'll do this one either Tuesday, because today's Monday. I'll probably post this one Tuesday, so maybe I'll do another one Thursday. But anyways, I will be back with another video. I'd love to know what you guys think and what you guys are curious about. And even if you're not really into business, like any kind of business, it doesn't even have to be makeup. All of these things still apply. Like, this could apply to anything. And if you're starting a business, I truly hope that you really think it through, and I hope you are successful. I truly hope that. Anyways, I hope you're having an amazing day, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.